searched for years to try and find his grave. I knew he'd come back. Strength, love. He was a great, he really, really loved us. He's been the strength, and he still is today, even though he's gone. Well, my name is Joslin McCabe. That's my single name. My married name is Eats. And I'm concentrating some of my life story and my family story on this house that Jack built.
And that's the house there, hey, and it's original.
That's the house. That's the original house, which pretty near the same as it was then. And it was a Cobb and Co depot. And you see these windows in the front here, which is my front window. That's where they used to deliver the groceries and take them all around the station areas, all the food lines.
Nice. And you're writing a book.
Yes.
Tell me about that one.
Well, it will be the story of this house that Jack built and everything that happened to it and around it.
Your story reminds me a lot of the history of Australia, Joslin.
No,
Do you feel that inside of you? Because you know history very well.
Well, in a way, you know, this is not my tribal area. I just live here. My area is the Diamantinas, where my actual Aboriginal heritage comes from the Diamantina country. And all my ancestors from my dad's side of the family are still buried there today, which I've got buried there, put plaques on them. And the pastoralist company, we made an agreement for them to put a fence up to protect the graves, so the cattle and horses and all the other wild animals out there, including men, can't destroy it. But the fence is still there today, which protects my ancestors' graves, which has helped me feel better, you know.
Now you talk very fondly of your father.
Yep.
What was the greatest gift that he gave you?
Oh, I guess knowledge, wisdom, and stories of our country. And he showed me a lot. He had a lot of old photos that he kept, because the white people that brought them up as kids is still alive today, actually, in hospital. And they were the Milson family from Sydney, from Potts Point. When they come over here from England, the government gave a lot of white people certain amount of acreage to grow food or breed cattle. I don't know really, but they lived and they have a property today, still there at Potts Point in Sydney, the Milson family. And that's the ones that come out here and bought Springvale Station, set it up. That's where my dad was born. My uncles, they're all buried. They're not buried there, but my grandmother's buried there. Dad's mother is buried on Springvale Station, and his aunties too. So all his family is still out there in the country that they come from. And my dad is buried in Barcaldine because he wanted to be over there with old Jim, being in the shearer strike, you know, brave men. But they created the Labor Party, which is something good for Australia, I think. I'm not sure yet, till the next election.
How many books have you written?
A couple. I think, about 2 or 3 of them. I've sort of been doing it for years, because I had to go down to university to get a degree, you know, because I never went to school much here because I was left-handed. And in them days, left-handed kids were evil. And my 2 brothers and my sister and myself are all left-handed. And we were all kicked out of school, and we were never allowed in it because of the left-handed business.
Do you reckon it's because you're left-handed or because you're Murray?
No, both probably. So my dad went down there grabbed the teacher by the throat and threw him straight out the window. And he fell down and we all laughed. Everybody laughed. Even all the kids I was there with that day, I remember that. That was that was great. And that's some of the grandfathers today that walk around here. And I'm glad.
So your dad was a very proud man, proud of his wife, proud of his kids.
My dad was the best man I have ever met in my life, ever. He had decency, he had strength and honesty. He always believed in telling the truth, and he never swore and never drank and he never smoked. Henry John McCabe is. Everyone called him Harry though, because it's a short term for Henry. He was born on Springvale Station, which is just outside of Winton, and he grew up there until he was about 15, and he was sent to King's College in Sydney by the people that owned the property to read and write, and that's how my dad learnt to read and write.
When you look at him now, when you look at him in that picture and you look at his eyes, what do you see and what do you feel?
Same thing. Strength and love. He was a great person. He really, really loved us. And when he married my mum, apparently they had a dispute that I never went into. Mum took us to Townsville, so we lived at the cemetery there in Townsville for a week before my dad come looking for us and found us all. We're all sitting behind these tombstones. I'll never forget that day.
And you came back?
I come back with my dad. All of us did. And
so your dad's been the provider and the solid man in your life?
He's been the strength, and he still is today, even though he's gone. But he's buried in Barcaldine, and he wanted to go there because of his joinment with his ancestors, with old Jack and Jim McCabe, because they were good fighters and they developed the Shearer Strike and the Labor Party. You know, that old tree there is still standing in Boulia. Believe it or not, it's still there. The same tree.
Who are those amazing looking men there, Joslin?
This one here is Palparara. He's king of the Diamantina. He was a special rainmaker. And this man here is King Bob, and he's the boss of the Boulia area. He's a traditional owner of that country. That tree there still stands in Boulia today. It's called the Boulia tree. And all these mob down here is a group of people they formed together. Some of them from different clan groups, but they're all close to the Diamantina. They're called the Malonga. It's just similar to the Senate operations today in Australia. They lay the laws down and interview everything and make certain everything is right for the people. And that's what they were. They were the lawmakers, and they're called the Malonga. This marking on here is all the pitta pitta markings. Each Aboriginal group had different designs on their bodies. I don't know, this probably was for the special group, and they were a group of people that made the law and carried the law.
How does it make you feel looking at those ones? Because you said from your dad you get the strength and the courage. How do you feel when you look at those?
I feel strong, mate, because I know they were looking after me. I know that. Especially this old fella, because my brother looks like him, believe it or not. One of my brothers, and he has passed away. And this one here, my other brother looks like him, and he's still alive. It's amazing, really. But they're my ancestors. I will be here until I pass on, and I'll be here in memory and everything else, because Jack built this house. It's the house that Jack built with love. You're mad on that, Jack.
But no, I'm not stealing your story. You know that, don't you? I'm not going to steal it.
I know that.